We are starting seated. So cross legs on the mat. And back up tall and straight, shoulders to spine. And allowing shin bones and thighs to sink and drop. On an exhale, lowering chin to throat. So we'll stay here for a few breaths. And allow that upper back to soften, the neck to stretch. Just watching breath. Breath flowing in and out through your nose. Moving into some head lifts as you breathe in. Lift your face, chin and your nose. Stretch open your throat. As you breathe out, lower your chin back down to your throat again. So warming up into your neck. So our focus this morning, guys, is back bending. And with back bends comes opening chest, shoulders, ribs, and releasing tension in your spine. So it's not the actual back bends that release tension in your spine. Back bending strengthens the spinal muscles and tightens them. It's when you come out of the back bends that you get the energy release and the muscular release. And now we're going to take this deeper into some full rolls. So next time your chin comes to throat, round your back, take your forehead towards your belly button. As you breathe in, uncurl yourself and lift your face again. So rolling the shoulders all the way forwards and all the way up and back. Each time you lift your chest, try to keep the knees and the thighs down. So you can even press gently with your palms or forearms on your legs so that those groins don't tighten. And now next time you curl up, we're going to stay there. Take your hands back behind you, turn your fingers towards the back of your mat, flatten your palms, lift your chest and arch your rib cage. So your back bends come more from your rib cage than they do from your spine. Depending on how far forwards you press your ribs or how far back you press your ribs will determine whether you are in a back bend or not. Okay, and then either keeping head back or looking forwards and stretch your legs out in front of you. Bring the big toes together. And then either keep looking forwards or arch the head back again. When the head goes back, we can get the lower ribs in the back body further forwards. Those very bottom ribs in your middle back are the most important ones for back bending. So we need to really train ourselves to be able to feel what is happening in that space. And with your breath, lift your face, look forwards, walk your hands up. We're going into a twist. So bend the right knee, wrap your arm around or arm to the outside of the leg. Keep your shoulders square to the floor. So even weight into both the shoulders and even length and weight into the two sides of your rib cage. And as you know, the best way to release out of a back bend is with a twist. So we'll also be doing some twisting today. Okay, let's circle it forwards and right leg straight, left knee bends up. Circle off to the other side. Lifting up tall, not tipping to one shoulder, keeping the shoulders centered in line with the spine and square to the floor. Okay, and untwisting yourself. And we're going to make our way into cross ankle. Just relaxing your arms down by your sides. And from here, just floating arms up and down for a few breaths. So then inhale, taking arms all the way up. As you exhale, circle or half circle straight back down again. So you're welcome to have palms touching over your head or not as they go up. As the palms come together, you might have to bend your elbows. That's okay. Or keeping the arms locked straight. Each time you lift your arms, lift the side ribs as well. So again, we're tuning awareness into the rib cage and noticing how much control you do or don't have there with your ribs. And our next time arms go up, we'll keep the arms up, bend your elbows, bring your hands behind your head or your neck. And we'll take a few side bends here, left to right. Still feeling the breath and keeping your breath moving. Bends don't have to be very deep. Sometimes deep side bends can give a little bit of a pinch in the lower back, or it can make you feel a little bit weak in the lower back. If that's okay, keep the side bends very small. It's still effective. And now next time you tip to one side, doesn't matter which, we either stay there, take your hand down to the floor, and really lift with that top elbow. So again, it's not necessarily about how far you're bending over to the side here. Maybe it's just a little bend, but really lift the elbow, lift through your armpit, lengthen through the back of the neck. And then we come up to center, hand behind your head or neck, tip it to the other side, other hand down, hold it there, and stretch up with the upper arm, stretch up with your elbow. If you are in a deep side bend, that's also fine, of course. Just keep your hips down. Don't let your bum lift off the floor to try and bend deeper to the side. Still breathing gently. And then breathing back up to center, arm down. And once more, we're going to stretch legs out in front of you. Flex the ankles, lift your toes and pull them towards your knees. Big toes together. We're taking hands back again. And this time, maybe try and bring your hands in a little bit closer towards each other. You might even be able to get your baby fingers to touch. And then chest presses forward and sternum lifts up. Center of the chest lifts up. You're welcome to tilt your head back. Just keep pressing forwards with your very lowest ribs and up with the heart. Walking hands forwards, head lifts. And slide your feet in to touch each other in a Baddha Konasana, holding the ankles. Bounce your thighs, shins, and your knees a few times. Keep your back straight and tall. And then we'll take it into the twist. Left fingers over right ankle, right arm circles back behind you. And now once you're in that twist, lift with your upper back so that you feel the lower back stretching out, and try and get the lower spine to arch forwards. If you get that arch of the lower spine, you'll feel the groin sink down, the front of your pelvis and the front of the hips drop down as well. And what that does is it doesn't just release the groins and the thighs, it gently engages the lower back muscles so that your spine is well supported here. Now keep your lift as you twist forwards and circle around to the other side. So once you're in that Baddha Konasana twist to the other side, once more lift with the upper back, lift with your chest, lengthen out the lumbar spine and the sacrum in the lower back, and gently press that lower spine forwards. Each in-breath, lifting top of head a bit higher. And now untwisting yourself. Once more, we're stretching legs straight, feet together. And you have the option here either to repeat lying on your palms or leaning onto your palms behind you in the very easy fish, or we're taking it to the second level where you lower down onto your forearms, palms face down, shoulder blades hug together, upper arms and shoulders pressed towards each other, either looking at your toes if you feel any strain in your neck or your spine or your lower back, or lifting your head and tilting the head back. If you're tilting head back, chest goes up higher and higher with each breath. If you're looking at your toes, same thing, chest goes higher and higher with each breath. Okay. If your head is tilted back, lift and look at your toes first. Then we walk up onto palms. And then we release with a twist. Let's step the right foot over the left thigh. Hug your shin or arm to the outside of your thigh or knee. And stretch into that left heel. Flatten your foot to the front of your mat. Just drawing back the left baby toe towards your outer knee so that the outer calf muscle on your straight leg is engaged and active. And keeping that height and lift of the chest, we untwist and we'll take it to the other side, left foot over right thigh. Flex your right ankle, drawing the outer edge of the right foot and baby toe back towards your outer thigh, calf, and knee. And let's untwist. And from here onto hands and knees, guys. Let's take our spinal rolls, your cats and your cows. Once you're on your all fours. And particularly as you're doing this, really feeling that shift of the rib cage as it presses all the way forwards and all the way back. And noticing how you have more movement in the lower ribs than you do in the upper ribs and the upper back. As I said earlier, that's where your back bend comes from. That line that kind of cuts your body in half at the very base of your rib cage. Those are the ribs that are really important in back bending. And our cats and our cows are a great place to feel that action and movement and prepare us for when we do our full back bends. Okay, now coming to flat back, and you're going to need your block or blocks. So either block on the right side of your thighs or one on each side. If you don't have a block, doesn't matter. Okay, and then we lift bum all the way up over your knees, and like you did when we were seated, inhale, reach your arms all the way up and bring your hands behind your head or your neck. Press out with your inner thighs and keep that as you take a few side bends. Try not to let your feet get too tight here, the soles of the feet. Toes can be tucked under or toenails on the floor. Do keep pressing out with the inner thighs. And then next time we tip over to the right, we're going to stay there. Take your right hand or fingertips down onto your block. If you don't have a block, it's hand on hip. And then lift that top elbow, stretch from the left lower ribs up the side of the rib cage, lift your armpit, lift the upper arm, and then lift your elbow. And we're coming all the way up to center. If you've got a block, you're going to take your block over to the other side, soften the shoulders, and then with an inhale, arms float up, hands behind head or neck, and once more, a few side bends, left to right. Check those thighs, press the inner thighs out. Get the leg muscles firming a little bit more so that your back has extra support from those strong legs. And next time we tip over to the left, we'll stay there. Left hand or fingertips down onto your block or hand on hip and lift. So again, we work from a place of connection in the body. You lift from your ribs, the lower ribs, up the side of the rib cage, lift the armpit, working from a place of integration to get length and height. Stretch the upper arm up, then lift the elbow even higher. And with your breath, we come all the way up. You put your block off to the side, hands down onto the mat, straight up into your downwards facing dog. From your down dog, you walk your feet forwards, come to your Uttanasana. Stretch it out there for a couple of breaths. You're hanging down, forward fold. And now moving into our Surya Namaskar. So breathe in, reach your arms all the way up to standing. Exhale to center. As you breathe in, reach back up again. On your out breath, fold down. Stretch your chest forward. And from there, making your way straight back into your plank. Slowly lowering down with control. Tummy squeezes tight as you lower. And as you roll into your back bend, keep that belly button squeezing back to your spine. Making your way to down dog. Hold that down dog. From down dog, step walk or hop your feet to your hands. Make sure the feet are aligned at the top of the mat as you fold. And then on an inhale, stretching arms all the way up. On your exhale, bring the hands down. And now this time when you reach your arms up, you're to stay there, either looking forwards or looking up towards the space between your hands. You can also bring hands together. If you're doing the version with hands together, make sure your elbows are straight. Don't bend the elbows. If you're bending elbows, have palms apart. On an exhale, circle and forward, bend over thighs, tip your hips forward as you fold. Through your half lift with your breath. From there, you're traveling back into your plank. And then lowering yourself down. Just slide it into the back bend. And then press back to your downwards facing dog. Hold that down dog again. With each exhale, feel your head get heavier. Soften into the throat and the mouth. And taking feet forwards to your hands. Stay in your forward bend. Like you did on your shins and seated. You're going to bring hands behind your head or your neck and then press your elbows forwards from the back of your head. So press elbows away from each other and away from your legs. On an in-breath, we come all the way up. Let's take a few side bends, left to right. Next time you come to center, we'll stay there. On an inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Again, holding that and either looking forwards or tilting your head back. If you're tilting your head back, push up with the back of your skull. Don't sink your weight into the back of the head, even though it's tilted back. And then on an exhale, forward bend. After you lengthen, you're going back into downwards facing dog. From down dogs, we're coming into a lunge, stepping your right foot forwards. Keep your left hand on the floor and reach your right arm alongside your head. Okay, so the left hand can be either on the floor or on fingertips or on your block. And then let's circle, right arm goes up, back and down. In breath takes the arm up, out breath circles it towards the floor. And next time your arm comes down, you can keep it there. We'll lower the back knee down to the mat in a low lunge. And we take warrior one. So either arms parallel and you're stretching up with normal classical warrior one arms, or you can hook one thumb in front of the other. Okay, so if you're doing the thumb hook, notice which thumb is in front so that you can do the other one in front on the other side. And then opening to warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. Press that right knee open with the forearm or hand. Left palm turns up to open the shoulder. That palm turning, that back palm turning up also opens the chest. With your breath, cartwheel your hands to the floor. On an in-breath, we step into plank with the right leg and then flow down with the breath all the way through and back to your downwards facing dog. And we're stepping the left foot forwards into your lunge. Knee over heel, of course. And then reaching left arm forward. And when you're ready, taking your circles. Just make sure that your right heel is pointing straight up. It's not twisting in or out. And then next time your hand comes down, we're going to drop it into the low lunge, right knee to the mat. Arms lift, warrior one. Soften into the front of your hips, let them travel forward. Maybe hooking thumb in front of the other. Let's take it into our warrior two. Arms, left arm forward, right arm back. Right palm and inner elbow twist up. And keep lengthening up out of your lower back. So again, the way we lift out of the lower back is to lift the rib cage, particularly your back ribs. And circling your hand over to the floor, a step into plank. And now when you get into your back bend, whether it's cobra or upwards facing dog, we're going to hold that for a few breaths. Make your legs super strong, lock your knees, push down with the toenails, push down with the tops of the feet if you can, and soften the shoulders back as the chest goes forward. Okay, let's make our way back to down dog again. From down dog, taking feet to the top of your mat. Feet stay a little bit apart once you're there. And then reaching arms up and bringing hands behind your head or your neck like we did earlier. Second round of side bends, left to right. Firm your leg muscles by pressing the calves and the knees out away from each other. And next time you tip over to the right, stay there. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Lift your left elbow as high as you can. So the stretcher is from the left lower ribs, lift through the rib cage, lift your armpit, then lift the upper arm, and the final lift is the elbow tip. I'm going to come all the way up, right hand behind head or neck. As you exhale, tip to the other side, bringing left hand down onto your pelvis and stretch. Focus on the lower ribs. On the right side, lift through the side ribs, armpit goes up, upper arm goes up, elbow tip goes even higher. And then back up to center and releasing your arm down. Okay, guys, we start to get a little bit more open. Floating arms up on an inhale. On your exhale, fold down. Stretch your heart forward with an inhale and then go straight back into your downwards facing dog. From down dog, we're taking a low lunge, stepping right foot forwards and dropping left knee down to the floor. From there, you're going to lift your arms, turn your palms forwards. And we take our cactus pulse on an inhale, pull the elbows down. On your exhale, reach up. So there's different levels you can take the upper arms to. You might come to the classical cactus arm shape where your upper arms are parallel to the floor. You might go a little bit lower. You might pull your upper arms all the way in to touch your body. It might be different each time. So just notice. Maybe you're controlling that consciously, or maybe you're just letting your body go to wherever it's going each time, but do notice where that is. Okay, now next time you pull your hands down and hold it there, bring hands behind your head or your neck. Okay, now the focus here is to take the elbows as far back as possible. To keep your neck released, press your hands into your head or your neck, press your head and neck back into hands. Keep taking the elbows back as far as possible. Well done, guys. That's a really long time to hold low lunge. So release down, palms to the floor. From here, right leg back and up to the sky, down dog splits. Bend that right knee to stretch open the hip flexors and the front of the right thigh. Get really heavy in palms and fingers and keep even weight in your two arms and your two hands here. We're taking right foot down. And we change. Left foot steps forwards into a low lunge. Right knee to the floor. Hips go all the way forwards. When your arms lift, palms face the front of your mat. Fingers nice and wide. On an in-breath, pull the elbows down. On your out-breath, stretch up. And keep those fingers super wide. Sometimes when you do this, we kind of forget about the fingers, but the stretch in the fingers is important here. Doing this action with arms is strengthening your arm muscles. If your fingers are wide, then the forearm muscles are working and strengthening. If the fingers are together or relaxed, that's not happening in the forearms. Forearms are important muscles to protect your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders. So we want them strong. Okay, next time you pull down, keep them there. We're bringing hands behind head or neck. Push your palms into your head or your neck, and then take the elbows further back. And really work that pressure of hands into head, head into hands or neck, because that pressure is not just releasing and protecting your neck, it's also releasing the shoulders. When the shoulders release, those elbows get way back. Well done, guys. Again, nice long hold. We're taking hands to the floor and taking left leg back and up to the sky, down dog splits. Bend the knee, lift it super high, and lengthen from the front of the hip up to the top of your knee. Bring that left foot down to the mat. On an inhale, come forwards to plank. As you breathe out, lower flat down onto the mat. Okay, we're going to take a half frog and get a little bit deeper into the stretch in your thighs, fronts of thighs. So you can rest your forehead down, bring your right heel to your bum. And then once you've got that right foot, you can either keep your forehead down on your hand or your forearm, or you can come into more of a Sphinx upper body. if you're lifting your upper body into more of a Sphinx, just make sure that your elbow is lifting and supporting your shoulder. So if you lift your chest and you feel like the shoulder is dipping, the elbow's in the wrong place, and you've got to slide that elbow a little further forwards, maybe a little further out to the side. Just keep sinking your right hip all the way down. Okay, before you change legs, if you've got your chest up, lower the head down. Don't change sides with your head up, and then take it to the other leg. And only once you've got your foot, then lift yourself up. Okay, so that's just dropping the head in between sides just helps to keep the middle back muscles soft. Because when we lift up into the Sphinx pose, and those middle back muscles get really tight. And you don't want to keep that as you're changing sides. Okay, great, guys. We're going to release out and take your time as you make your way back into downwards facing dog. You're just going to stretch out the spine and the back muscles a little bit there. Also stretch out the backs of your thighs, because when we do half frog, that really tightens the hamstrings and the calves. So let's just release that. And in a moment, we're going to be going into a half a camel. So your half camel can actually end up being a deeper back bend than a full camel. So just notice that for yourself. If you are feeling like you're going into a deeper back bend or working your back bend more, that's because it is a deeper back bend. Okay, let's come down onto shins, guys. So you lift hips up over knees. And then from there, we're stepping right foot forward. So we're coming into 2 right angles in the knees. It's not a lunge. We are going to do the lunging version. We're not there yet. This will help that lunging version to feel a lot more comfortable. Okay, so we're going to reach arms up. Keep that right foot forward. Don't do what I'm doing. Okay, arms go forward, and let's take a few cactus pulses. So as you breathe in, elbows pull down. As you breathe out, stretch up. We do that a few times. Again, maybe elbows are only coming part way. Maybe they're coming all the way down. That doesn't really matter. Okay, and now next time you pull down, we'll keep that cactus shape. Right hand stays where it is. Left hand comes onto your bum. Okay, not the back of the thigh yet. So we've got one arm up, one hand back on your bum. Pull the right shoulder and the right elbow back. And then if you want to, you can lift your chin and you can slide your hand down the back of your thigh. Maybe you're going for the back of your knee. The more your left hand goes down the leg, the more the right shoulder and chest will pop forward. So keep taking right shoulder back. You might be able to go for your calf or your heel. Try to keep the left hip over the left knee if you're going all the way back. Okay, so as I said, can be a deeper pose than full camel. So if that's what you're feeling, it's because it is, and just acknowledge that for yourself. If it's too uncomfortable, you might want to come out a little bit. Nice, guys. With your breath, lift all the way up, bringing knee to the floor, hands to the floor, and take yourself into a down dog. Give it a good release. And then your body might feel a little bit asymmetrical when you're in that down dog. And we'll even that out with the other side. Okay, let's do it. Dropping back down onto shins. From there, left foot steps forward. It's not a lunge. Right hip is over the right knee. Left heel is under the left knee or a little bit forwards in front of it. We're going to do a few of those cactus arms again. So reach up, palms forward, fingers spread wide. With your in-breath, pull down. With your out-breath, reach up. And one of the other things that happens if your forearm muscles are strongly engaged as you do this, it gives more openness and release in the shoulders, which we want for our preparation here. Okay, now next time you pull down, stay there. Left arm stays as it is, right hand to your bum. Once your hand is there, notice how that pulls the chest a little bit to the side. So square and pull the left shoulder back. And then maybe start to take your hand down the back of your thigh. Your chest will twist to the right. Take the left shoulder back again. Maybe going for calf, maybe going for heel. Be really heavy with that left foot to give you strength in your legs. Strong legs always gives the back more support. You guys are great. With your breath coming all the way up. And again, into your downwards facing dog. Step feet together. Take your knees to the two sides of your mat and drop hips to heels. We're taking it into the twist here, right arm under your chest. Left arm reaches forwards. And your nose points to your right hand. Okay, taking right arm forwards, change and take left arm under. And reaching both, excuse me, both arms forwards. And from here, slide up onto your tummy. We're going to take a crocodile pose. So once you're lying on your belly, take your arms out to the side in a T shape. So elbows in line with your shoulders out to the side at a right angle to your mat. Then you keep the elbows there and bend the elbows into right angles. And we've got palms facing down, fingers spread wide. So again, here we want the forearm muscles to work. That's why we spread the fingers super wide apart. And that is going to give you your upper arms and your upper back muscle support to help you lift the arms when you do. Okay, so we're doing full crocodile, which means lift your toes, knees stay on the floor, point your toes up to the roof, and then flex your ankles. Flex the ankles to get strength in the leg muscles to be able to lift them. And then you've got the option here. You can keep knees on the ground or you can lift the knees, but we're definitely going to try and lift chest and elbows. So we go with the breath, inhale, try and lift your whole body off the floor. Fingers are spread wide, feet are flexed. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. To get that happening, you got to really lift the shoulders and the armpits and the upper arms. And you're looking a little bit down towards your mat in front of your nose. Don't look forwards. And then relax all the way down. So arms wherever it's comfortable. If you're turning the heels, turn them out and toes in. from here, making your way back into your downwards facing dog. From down dog, we are going to take a low lunge. And we're going to do the same thing that you did in your half camel, but now in a lunge shape. So we're stepping right foot forwards, get your right heel under your knee, sink the hips forward. We'll reach the arms up to warrior one, but turn your palms forward and spread your fingers wide. On an in-breath, bend your elbows into your cactus shape and hold it there. So your right arm stays like that. Bring your left hand around onto your bum and take your right shoulder and your right ribs further back. So either staying like that or sliding your left palm down the back of your left thigh. You might get your fingers to your knee. You might be able to get your palm sliding onto your calf, or if you're super warmed up, maybe hand to heel. The further back the left hand goes, the more your chest will twist to the side. Try and keep the right shoulder all the way back. Brilliant, guys. We're taking hands to the floor. Lift your left knee up. And take right leg back to down dog splits. So we're going to bend that right knee again. Okay, now if you're feeling like it, you're welcome to flip your dog into a wild thing and drop that right foot back behind you. If you're dropping the right foot, right knee stays bent, left leg straight. Lovely, guys. You can be flat on the right foot or on your tippy toes like you're wearing a stiletto shoe. Beautiful, everyone. We'll flip it back over into your down dog and come back to your center. And now we take it over to the other side. So we're stepping left foot forwards into your lunge. Right knee down to the mat. Travel the hips all the way forward. So the right hip is in front of the right knee. Left heel and the left knee. We'll breathe the arms up, palms face forward, fingers nice and wide as you bend the elbows. Come to cactus arms. Keep the left arm like that. Bring your right hand onto your bum. And then take the left shoulder and ribs further back. Then as the right hand goes further down the leg, if you're going deeper, keep trying to square your chest to the front of the mat, taking right ribs forward, left ribs back, maybe going for your knee, maybe going for your calf or your heel. And always keeping the breath flowing, even if it's short, little tight breaths here. Back bending breath is often short and tight, and that's okay. Okay, slowly, carefully coming out, hands to the mat, left leg back and up to down dog splits. Once you're in your down dog splits, bend that left knee. And then if you did it on the other side, maybe flipping it over when your left foot or toes gets to the ground. Left knee stays bent, right leg straight. And the hips nice and high, heart all the way up. Very nice, everybody. We're going to flip it over again. And then from here, forwards into plank and flat down onto your tummy. Okay, this is quite a lot of back bends in a row. After what we're about to do, I'm going to take you through your twists. So let's take a bow pose, chin or nose on the floor. And then you're to reach back, bend your knees, reach back for both feet or toes or ankles. You have two options here, guys. You can flex the ankles or you can point them. Before you lift your chest, squeeze the shoulders back and up as high as you can. And then with an in-breath, lift your chest, lift your thighs. Try and lift your whole body off the ground. That's it. Keep those little breaths going. Well done, everyone. We release and fully relax yourself down. And nice and heavy. Make sure there's no tension anywhere in your body now. So wiggle out things that need to be wiggled out if there are little tight spots. All right, from here, we're going to roll over onto your back and you're going to need your strap. Once you are lying down on your back, bend your knees with your feet on the floor. Don't hug knees to chest just yet. And we're going to keep the left foot on the floor. Take your strap on your right foot and stretch your right heel up to the ceiling. Okay, there's also a version where you don't have to use a strap if you're able to hold your foot. Okay, now we're going to hold the straps with the left hand. So hold the two sides of the strap, elbow straight, get your hand as close to your foot as you can. And now we twist, taking that right leg over your body to the left outer thigh and knee, flop over to the ground. And then flatten your right shoulder down onto the floor. If you're doing the version where you're holding your foot, it's your left fingers hook over the outer edge of that right foot. Okay, either way, stretch into your heel on that lifted leg. Your right knee might be a bit bent, that's okay. Keep the sole of the foot flexed flat. And now before you lift, squeeze your tummy tight, then roll out. You might want to bend your right knee before you roll out and change legs. Strap onto left foot, please. Okay, so we're keeping the right knee bent, foot on the floor. We are doing this twice, guys. We're going to do it with a straight leg in a moment. Okay, so when you're ready, hold strap or foot, right elbow straight to start, and then take that left leg over your body to the right knee onto the ground, right foot nice and relaxed. Flatten the shoulder blades down, sink the arm bones, and relax your chest and shoulders. Okay, great, guys. Let's untwist, strap off for a moment, and hug your knees into your chest. From here, you're going to rock yourself up to sitting and stretch your legs straight out on the floor in front of you. And let's take a Jana Shasana. So it's bringing right foot to inside of the left thigh. Flop your knee down. Flex the left ankle, knee and toes pointing straight up. And then inhale and extend, reach for your shin or your foot. Make sure both your arms are doing the same thing here. If you've got the crossbind, that's okay as well. That's lovely. Good idea. Just make sure if you're not doing the crossbind, so if you've got the crossbind, arms might be a little bit different, but if you do the version where your arms are not crossed, make sure both elbows and arms are doing the same thing. Don't bend one and straighten the other. That's lovely, guys. Coming up and changing legs. And taking yourself into the other side when you're ready. It's lengthening forwards evenly through both sides of your rib cage. And then lifting up. And you're going to do a seated forward fold of your choice, either both legs straight and feet together, or a little bit apart, or fully wide into your full Upavishta Konasana. All of those is a good choice. And we come to the symmetrical pose after those two asymmetrical sides. Come back to watching your breath. Soften into the flow, deepening your out breaths. Long, deep breaths out and in. And then lifting up and making your way back down onto your back. Once you're lying down, you're going to need your strap again. We'll lie down with both legs straight, feet touching, and then taking your strap over your right foot for the twist. So once you've got your foot in your strap and the leg kicks up, hold on with your left hand. And then like the other before, walk the hand up as close to your foot as possible, elbow straight, and then take your twist over. We're flop that left foot over to the side. Flatten your shoulders into the ground. You're coming all the way up to center. Change legs. Try to get the right elbow straight before you take your leg over your body. And then as that leg goes over, ground your left shoulder. Flop the right foot over, relax the toes. And carefully lifting yourself back to center. Take your strap off and hug your knees. You're welcome to take a happy baby here if you want to. Okay, happy baby is a really good stretch for the lower back as well. And then we're moving into your Shavasana when you're ready. I'm going to take in a few deep breaths here to help relax your body. So breathing in deeply through your nose and taking a long sigh out of the breath through your mouth. And do that 3 times. And each time you breathe out, sink your shoulders deeper. Allow your whole body to get heavier. Sinking every part of your body down deep into the floor. And feel your whole skin soften and relax. Feel all the muscles soften and release. And even allow your bones and your internal organs to soften and relax. And let go of any last tension. Completely relax. Completely relax. And now if you have legs up the wall, we're going to slide the feet down. And start to gently move your fingers and your toes. Circling wrists and ankles. Making whatever movements feel good to you now. And taking in a deep breath, reach out and stretch or hike your knees one last time. And very carefully, you lift yourself up, make your way to sitting. May our minds be open to the divine light that guides us. May our hearts be open to the divine love that surrounds us. May the angels keep us and bless us and bring us joy. Namaste, everyone.